Once, a young man lived in a small village by a mountain. He had a restless mind and would overthink everything. He worried about the smallest details and spent hours thinking about different possibilities. His mind was never calm, always racing like a storm. One day, the young man heard about a wise monk who lived at the top of the mountain. People said the monk had great wisdom, so the young man decided to climb up to meet him. After a long and tough climb, the young man finally reached the monk, who was sitting peacefully in front of his hut. The young man explained his problem. "I can't stop overthinking. It's making me feel crazy. I just want peace." The monk smiled and invited him to sit down. He poured 2 cups of tea, and they sat together in silence for a few minutes. Then the monk spoke. "Look up at those 2 birds flying in the sky." The young man looked up and saw 2 birds flying gracefully through the clouds. "Yes, I see them," the young man said. The monk asked, "Which bird is better?" The young man was confused. "What do you mean?" The monk clarified. "Which one is more beautiful or more skilled?" The young man thought for a moment. "I don't know. They both seem beautiful and skillful." "Exactly," said the monk. "Each bird is special in its own way. They don't compare themselves to one another. They just fly and enjoy the sky." The young man started to understand but asked, "How can I stop overthinking?" The monk smiled again. "You can start by focusing on the present moment. When you're fully in the moment, you stop worrying about the past or future. You just enjoy being here." The young man nodded. "But how do I do that? My mind always feels busy." The monk took out a small stone and gave it to the young man. "Hold this stone in your hand. Pay attention to its color, texture, and weight. Feel the warmth of your hand against its cool surface. Focus all your attention on the stone and nothing else." The young man followed the monk's instructions. At first, his mind was still racing, but slowly he began to relax. He noticed the details of the stone, and his mind started to quiet down. After a few minutes, the monk took the stone back and said, "Congratulations, you've just taken your first step towards mindfulness. Practice this every day, and you'll see a change." As the young man walked back down the mountain, he noticed the beauty of nature around him. He saw the colors of the flowers, heard the birds, and felt the wind on his skin. He wasn't lost in his thoughts anymore. He was fully in the moment. From that day on, the young man practiced mindfulness every day. Whether it was a stone, a flower, or a tree, he took time to focus on what was around him. Over time, he stopped overthinking and found peace. His relationships also improved, and he felt more content with life.